Golden State Warriors keeping Kenny Atkinson, sorry.
Yep.
But there's still change to come.
Yep.
Wiggins is in his last year of his deal. Looney's about to be a free agent, and Poole is up for an extension.
Yeah.
Steph thinks that Kuminga, Wiseman, and Poole are the next big three.
Yep.
The Warriors seem to be building for the future, but still are also chasing a title next year.
Yep.
Is that possible? Can you do that?
Well, I think they showed you could do it this year. They didn't trade. They had 2 lottery picks. Not only did they not trade them, they drafted 2 of the youngest players in the draft in Kuminga and Moody. 2 guys who didn't see the court at all in the finals.
Right.
They drafted Wiseman a couple years ago, the year they had the number 2 pick, and he never played. He flatly just never played. Now he's been hurt, so that's not because they didn't want him to play. So they kept all those assets and just won the title. Now, right now, they're the favorites in Vegas to win next year. I do not buy that. And I understand that I am setting myself up. Did you know D.L. Hughley? You know who D.L. Hughley is, obviously.
Yeah.
You don't? No, the comedian.
Sort of don't.
You absolutely know.
Oh, yeah, if I seen him. The Hughley sounds familiar.
He had a TV show. You would absolutely recognize him. I'm going to show you his face real quick. The reason I'm bringing up is this guy is putting me on his TikTok page, my old Andrew Wiggins take. That Andrew Wiggins take is going to outlive me. So hold on. That's D.L. Hughley.
Oh, yeah. I've seen him in a couple movies.
Of course. So all these folks roasting me for the Wiggins take.
Right.
Well, eventually that's going to have a show play. So let me give you guys another one. Man, I don't think the Warriors win another title anytime soon. I just don't. I'm going to say something else. You win a title, it lasts forever. It always counts. There is no asterisk, none of that. I didn't think that team was this great. They just won the title and never faced elimination. I didn't think they were that great. So who should be the favorites? The damn Milwaukee Bucks obviously should be the favorites.
Okay.
And in the West, the Clippers are going to be demonstrably better. The Nuggets should be better. The Lakers can't be worse. The Hornets and Grizzlies are on the uptick. The Pelicans and Grizzlies are on the uptick. Minnesota's not a contender, but they're on the uptick. Like, the only team in the West who you expect to be worse definitely is Utah and maybe Phoenix. And so the Warriors get massive credit for holding on to these young guys and still winning the title. But no, I don't think they're the favorites, and I think their chances of repeating are slim to none. All right, next.
Okay, so bigger loser in the finals than the Celtics, Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Steph passed him on probably just about everybody's top 10 list, including yours. And that thing that you said about this isn't a part of the question, but
sure.
the worst possible outcome that could have happened to Kevin Durant happened to him.
Yeah, I mean, and let's stay there just for a second before we get to the question. Because I do try to be fair and consistent with this. 13 months ago, I was on television the day after we went to, I don't think you were in New York yet. So I went with your mom and your sisters to Game 5, Round 2, Nets, Bucks, and Barclays.
Yeah.
The best game of Kevin Durant's life. He had, I'm doing this from memory, but I think it was 48 points, either 17 or 19 rebounds.
Played every minute of the game.
And 10 assists.
Yeah.
Played every minute. No Kyrie, essentially no Harden. He's on one hamstring. Beats Giannis. Looks like they're going to win the title.
Yeah.
Steph had missed the playoffs in back-to-back years. In that moment, the post-KD Steph breakup, if you will, could not have been going better for Durant. He missed 1 year with injury, but we knew that was happening.
Yeah.
The 2 years without him, Steph hadn't played in a single playoff game, and Durant looked like the best player in the world. Since then, it ain't been like that. And so just like there was a point in time where last year's playoffs looked like the best case scenario for the Durant versus Steph discussion, this year's playoffs, where he gets swept, he doesn't play well, the team that sweeps him loses Steph, and Steph wins the title and plays great, that is the worst case scenario. That's not, neither one of those is hyperbolic. But what's the question?
So Katie and Draymond coming at him, not Katie and Draymond, Draymond and fans coming at him on social media. Mm-hmm. And Charles Barkley said that Katie has to win the title while in the driver's seat.
Yes.
So your Twitter pen pals or mates with Kevin Durant.
Yeah, Kevin Durant and I I don't know if we're friendly, but I think the relationship is in a better spot than it once was. So go ahead.
So are you going to defend him?
Here's what I will defend Kevin Durant on. You can't defend the playoff series. What I will defend him on is this. And Barkley's right. The thing, just like Steph needs to check off a great start to finish finals MVP on his resume, KD needs to check off win a title outside of the incubator of Golden State on the resume. He needs to check that out. Okay? Yeah. However, where I will defend Kevin Durant is this. Because what is happening right now is people are like, oh my God, he made such a mistake. Why would he leave Golden State? Because we told him to. The whole media said your legacy will be trash forever unless you leave, unless you go win somewhere else. And honestly, then the whole media is like, oh my God, you could have won 7 titles with Steph.
And he should have went and won the 7 titles.
Well, maybe, but he would have gotten. So if I'm Durant, I am a little frustrated. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. You've got to be. You guys all said I had to leave. I left, and now you're like, you're such an idiot for leaving. Like, that's
very fickle, man.
If your parent has owns a car dealership, and you're like your first job out of college, you go work for the car dealership, and then you become an executive vice president of the car dealership, still got your dad's name on it. Yeah. You're making money, and you're doing good, and everyone around you is like, you need to go prove it on your own. You need to go. You can't just you can't just take over your dad's business. And then you go, and a year later, everyone's like, man, what happened to all that money you were making? What a terrible decision. So stupid. You had it made. You'd be like, dude, you told me I had to leave. And so in that regard, I totally defend Durant. And here's the other thing I will defend Durant on. And this is where sports are not really fair, right? There were 2 guys who were, and I apologize, we once again have failed the clock. There were 2 guys who were starting players on championship level teams that were playing in cities with vaccine mandates that weren't vaccinated. One was Kyrie Irving, one was Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins got vaxxed. Kyrie Irving didn't get vaxxed. Kevin Durant has no control over that. Does anybody think the next season goes as disastrously if Kyrie makes the decision Wiggins did? And does anybody think the Warriors season goes as well if Wiggins makes the decision Kyrie did? So Durant's got no impact on that. Steph benefits, Durant gets dinged for it. Let's go another level. Both of these teams had a third level player. One in James Harden goes totally AWOL haywire, quits on the team and leaves.
Yeah.
The other, Jordan Poole, goes from G Leaguer to briefly like, oh my God, is he a 20-point per game guy?
Yeah.
Durant has no impact on that either. So that's where I think he understandably gets a little frustrated with some of the media narrative stuff. So I get that. With all that said, he's got to do better. You can't get swept in round 1 and shoot 38%. Hey, thanks for watching. Hit the subscribe button to get more from the show, and make sure to click the bell to get notified every time new content drops. Check out full episodes of What's Right wherever you get your podcasts, or just click the link in the description below.